Hey girls, happy Friday. Jump on here. It's been a while since I did a True Brew live. Last time I had words and they were all reversed, so I couldn't do it live. Made me so mad. I love doing these lives with you. So I'm back, and today's topic is important. And it's also a hot topic, meaning it's not only something that's going to impact your life, but it's going to it's kind of undo some of the trendy stuff that's out there. So it's a hot topic and it's a relevant topic, and that is supplements. We're talking about supplements today, and specifically supplements over 40. So jump on here, say hi to me. Kim is here. Hi, girl. And if I get your questions real time, I'll answer them real time. And this is the topic today, supplements over 40. By the end of the video, you are going to know exactly what you need, how to choose the product, how to know that it's a good, clinically tested, safe product, and 3, also how to spot a gimmick and what to avoid. So let's get started. The first thing that I want to make sure that you understand is that there are no magic pills. There are no magic solutions of any kind. So really, the truth is, you might be watching this in hopes that I will come along and say, I found this thing that's going to change your life. You can eat whatever you want and still lose all the weight. It's just, I get inundated with that stuff. I say weekly, I get someone trying to tell me about a new product. So we're going to talk about that later. But the first thing you need to know, girl, is that what we are talking about today are supplements that you need for your health. That's what we're going for. In this program, the way that I coach, it's about health, not about aesthetic weight loss to get back in your bikini at age 55. That's not what we're doing. So that's the first thing. There's no quick fixes, and I don't want to feed the part of your brain that says, oh, maybe if I take more B12, I'll be skinnier. No, you won't be skinnier. So because that's not a thing. That's a big fat lie that we've been programmed to believe since we were 11. So just let that go, and let's switch our brains over into the health space. That's what we're going for. So number 2, covering the basics, I want you to understand that I want the majority of your nourishment, your nutrients, your vitamins to come from food. So that is, the bottom line is we need to be nourishing our bodies in such a way that we don't need a gob ton of purchased supplements. But the reality is it's hard to eat as much as we need in order to get the nutrients we need. And let's talk about why. This is the first part of our lesson. Is anybody else on here? I started super fast. Why is it that it's not what it used to be? Why is it that our food isn't enough anymore? It used to be. The first thing is this, depleted soil, depleted dirt is the way I put all this in alliteration so I can remember it. So the depleted dirt, farms, and you know what, there's probably a farmer on here that's going to correct me, but the truth is, from the research that I've done, the reading that I've done, soil is depleted now, and because we are into mass production, there's no way to whatever it be, my grandfather was a farmer, like crop rotation or whatever that is happening anymore. We are mass producing our food from these farms, and the soil doesn't have the nutrients in it that it used to, so therefore it doesn't grow the food as nutrient rich as it used to. So that's number 1. Number 2 is transit. So I'm eating strawberries from California right now, and they're fantastic. Every now and then we'll read something and it's come from Canada and you're in Florida. So that transit time means that the food is not, it's going to lose some of its nutrients. Now, it's also picked too early, because in transit, the companies know that it ripens. And so it's just, traveling all this way isn't great for our food. Number 3 is obvious. One of the reasons we need supplements is because America has processed everything to death, meaning we've taken the nutrients out in the processing process. And then when you see something that says enriched, it means then they put it back in. It's done. It's what we're doing now. So processed foods are nutrient, empty, basically. And then this is a really interesting one. One of the reasons we need supplements outside of a good, clean, healthy diet is because there is a kind of a mismatch in our day between our food and its nutrient quality and the level, listen to me, of our stress. So we compare the fast pace of our life to what our grandparents lived, or even what our parents lived. We have such a faster world with so much more input and so much less quality downtime that we need more nourishment and more nutrients than they did. Plus, they had higher quality food. So I found that fascinating. We are living at a crazy pace, and our food can't keep up with us. Wow. And then here's the final kind of obvious one. Why we need supplements is they can be targeted treatment. And we're going to talk about this. It's really, really, really important to me. Listen to me when I say this. You must get tested and speak to your clinical team before you just start taking all the supplements we're about to cover. It can be fantastic information, for instance, to have me say, most women over 40 need D3. Well, if you start taking D3 and you don't need it, guess what? You're overdosing now. But if you do, go to your doctor, get the blood work. It will likely show that you're low on D3 because we don't get outside very much these days. And really in general, I don't mean for the season of winter. I mean, in general, America is stuck inside. So let's say you obey me and you go get blood work. You're like, oh, I'm low in D3. And then you take it. That supplement can be a targeted treatment to that issue. It's fantastic. And so, and I'm sure you have anecdotes in your own life, your own story about, mine was B12. I had raging anxiety, all kinds of other issues. And then come to find out I was super, super low in my Bs, started taking a complex and it's gone. Fixed it. So one of the most obvious reasons we take supplements is to target an issue after blood work. Okay. So does that make sense? Any questions? Who else is on here? Kim and Sandy, come on, girls. And Brandy, hi, girl. I'm going to answer your question at the end about beef organ stuff. Sandy says, looking forward to a farmer's market in our garden. Right? Daggone, I love it so much. And it tastes different. You literally have these moments of like, oh my gosh, I forgot what a cucumber tastes like, because from the grocery store, they literally taste like nothing. And then you eat a good one. You're like, wow, I remember this from kindergarten. Grandma's garden, right? So, all right, let's keep going. So those are the reasons we need supplements. It's just our food is depleted, the soil is depleted, everything's processed, etc. We can target issues. Now let's talk about how to find a good supplement. What do I look for literally on the package? So the first thing you're going to look for is the form facts, is the way I called it. And that is, you need to look for words like active and methylated. Again, listen to me, girls. All of this will be listed in email. So don't, explode your brain. So look for words like active and methylated. Those are really processes that are not gimmicky. They're actual, scientific pharmaceutical processes that they put the supplement through to make it more metabolically friendly, basically. So look at form facts like active and methylated. Look for them being paired with things like, and what your words will be. Again, this is an email. It will say enhanced absorption. A perfect example of this where it's a power pair is in the collagen that I talked about this week. maybe it was end of last week, has vitamin C in it. And so that's a paired, like an enhanced absorption, because collagen needs that vitamin C in order to be metabolized correctly. So instead of me buying 2 supplements, vitamin C and collagen, it's in there together. So that's another thing to look at on your supplement, is to see if it has anything about enhanced absorption. So another one is, I'm looking for questions. I'm looking at it's called, I just put liquid logic. And what I mean by this is that it's look for forms that are easily digestible. Kim, you'll like this. A lot of my girls, I have several of you that prefer gel or liquid or dissolvable supplements of any kind. And really, while it might be a gut issue of some sort, truly it's better for all of us, gut issue or not, because what that does is it's more easily and readily absorbed into your system versus a big solid horse pill, which I have lots of horse pills right now. I don't like it. So look at the way that they, look at some that are easily in the form that is easiest to be digested. Now, here's one of the most important ones. You ready? When you are buying a product, this might be the most important one. Listen to me. You need to look for true testing. And it needs to say clinically tested, and even better, it needs to have language on there that indicates third-party testing. And so it will have USP, NSF, and again, I'm sorry, this is all an email. I just feel like I don't want to overwhelm you. And it's a lot of new information. So don't worry about it. Just listen and then go check your list in your inbox later on. So clinically tested, and they'll look for third-party testing. That's key. Because otherwise, there are so many unregulated supplements that aren't tested. Or they might have one. And you're like, oh, it says I'm going to lose my belly overnight. Well, no, you're not. And no one knows that it would, because it's not been tested by anybody. It's very dangerous, actually. So clinically tested and third-party testing. And then also look for the obvious, that it's pure, that it can actually say, no artificial flavors. It has one ingredient, a very, short ingredient list. So make sure that it's straightforward. Listen to me, you're not always going to understand what you're reading, but what I'm going to, in the back of a bottle, but what I'm going to give you are key, just like with the label reading, nutrition label reading, I'm going to give you trigger words to watch out for, so that oh, it says clinically tested, or oh, it says NSF or whatever it is, and that will be just what you have to do, because you're not a scientist. Neither am I. All right, questions. Let's pause for a second. Anybody? I don't see any, but they always come through so slow. I hate it so much. All right, let's go. And, honestly, too, I would tell you, and I am telling you, to ask someone if this is, what do you think about this product? Someone meaning your pharmacist, or if you are in, there's not very many, but if you're in what we used to call a health food store, you can ask somebody, questions, but I'm just going to be straight up with you. Not many people know. It's just not part of the American culture to be super healthy. And so, nor to really care what we put in our bodies. So you can ask questions if you want, but it's better to kind of make sure that you know who you're asking and that they know what they're talking about. Our country's catching up with this. I lived in Europe for years and years, and it's just normal over there. German apothekas, if you've ever lived there, this is what they're doing. Everything on the shelf is non-pharmaceutical, and it's all natural supplements that they go to first. That's the first thing they do. And that girl behind that counter, they know what they're talking about. Here, not so much. So just be careful who you ask, but don't be afraid to ask questions, especially, and don't take it if you don't know what's going on. Well, hope this works. No, don't do that. Okay, so now what we'll do is get into drink your water, into the actual supplement list. You ready? So your first supplement, over 40. Now that we've covered that you're trying to get the majority of your nutrients from your from your, oh, it says reactions are enabled. Oh, good. Okay, so maybe I'll see your questions now. You're trying to get your nutrients from your clean diet. That's first. Lots of colors, lots of fresh fruits and vegetables, lean meats, etc. The second thing is that you are going to understand that if it's traveling, if it's processed, if it's all the things, it's probably not going to be as nutrient rich as you want it to be. So then we move to supplements. And then you know how to pick a supplement, and that list will be an email. So let's talk about the supplements. You ready? Over 40 girls. D3. Vitamin D3. Because we are not outside enough, basically. And because we slather ourselves in wallpaper paste called sunscreen, which we need. I get it. I just hate it so much. We don't get any D3, and D3 is where you get it from the sun and from potatoes, a couple other places. But really, we're depleted because we're scared of skin cancer and because we're not outside. Now, you are not to just go randomly start taking D3 after this. You need to go get blood work. And I think the statistic is something like more than 80% of Americans are low. And when you're low, you feel no energy. My son had it. He's a soccer player and put so much stupid sunscreen on, and he was super low in D3 and had no energy and depressed and all these weird symptoms. As soon as he started taking it, he was fine. It was a gap. So D3 is all about bone health, immunity, mood. That's how he manifested, and hormone balance. So D3 is number 1. Ask your doctor for blood work. Number 2 is magnesium. Let's go through. There are so many magnesiums. Let's just be honest. Even I'm like, that's it. What? I didn't know that was a 17th magnesium. So let's just cover the 3 basics that are recommended for us, old girls. You ready? The first one is magnesium glycinate. That covers sleep, anxiety, and muscle relaxation. I love it. I take it at night. Don't do it because I do it. Talk to your doctor. But it helps me just sleep a little bit better. I have very active sleep all the time. Like when you're laying there and you're aware that you're dreaming. And you wake up like, I dreamed all night. I'm so tired. That's me. Can't turn my brain off. So magnesium glycinate is the first one that helps with that. Threonate, Threonate, is all about cognitive support. And then magnesium malate is a third one. That's all about energy production and muscle issues. Fibromyalgia patients tend to take this one. So those are the 3 magnesiums. Number 3, moving right along, omega-3s, like fish oil stuff, which petrifies me because I've had bad experiences, with fish in my gut all night. Or like, I'll take it in the morning and then I had a bad brand and I burped fish the rest of the day. It was disgusting. So I have PTSD from that. And so I'll give you a good brand that isn't fishy, but we need it. Unless you eat tons of fish already, you probably could benefit from an omega-3, and that is all about brain health, inflammation, heart health, your mood. We really, really need this. So that's one that's kind of not negotiable. A B complex, B12 complex, it has all the B's in there. That's I gave you my story. It changed my life. It's all about energy, stress, cognition, hormone balance. It's very, very important, the B's. Number 5, a good probiotic. Now listen, this is another one that changed my life. I had raging IBS for decades, all the stupid things. And I also have a family history of gut issues. That's how my mom passed. And so I started taking a probiotic recommended by my gut doctor, and it changed my life. Every symptom went away. So now I've also recommended this to clients, and they're like, oh, I hate this thing. So really it is all, again, between you and your clinical team. And then no 2 people are the same. You might not benefit from what I benefit from and vice versa. But a good probiotic if you need it, which I believe most of us do, because we don't eat a lot of fermented foods, because, we eat a lot of processed foods, our gut biome is lacking. And so when you take the probiotics, it feeds the gut in a way that's kind of gappy, missing. So it's about gut health, hormones, immunity, and inflammation. Go figure. Collagen is next, girls. No questions coming through. I'm sorry. Love you. Collagen is one, again, I covered at the end of last week. Collagen is one, and there's one more I'm going to mention, but collagen is one of the only supplements that you see that is a trend, like all these girls and they're matching like big hats and tall boots selling collagen liquid. It's like MLM crap, right? For 20-year-olds that don't need any sort of skin tightening, but here, take this. So it's really, we're the ones that everyone benefits, but we can really benefit. And what I was going to say is it's not only trendy, but it's one of the only supplements that science backs up as doing everything it says it's going to do. So very rarely, do you get, something that's popular in culture and trendy and slightly gimmicky that actually has science evidence that backs it up. But this is one. So collagen is all about skin tightening. It's about joint health. It's about tendon and ligament health. And remember when I say this to you, that as estrogen decreases, our all of those things, our skin changes, our tendons, our ligaments, all the connective tissues get depleted and change their turgor. And so stinking estrogen, it's so powerful. But so what we can do with collagen is take that every day. I take it every single day. It's tasteless. I gave you my brand. And it just kind of quells that, or it helps to keep your tendons and ligaments and skin healthy. We need all the help we can get. Am I right? Here's the second one that I mentioned, that I was going to mention about science backing it up completely. It is creatine. Now, back in the day, if you've ever even heard of creatine, it was only in the fitness community. It was a bodybuilding thing. And it does indeed help build muscle and preserve muscle. But now there is so much science and research that gives the evidence that it goes way beyond you looking good on stage for a bodybuilding competition. It's all about cognition, to the point where now they are giving it to Alzheimer's patients. It is all about, again, for us, it would be more along the lines of, yes, muscle building, but also, listen to me, they give it to nursing home patients to prevent muscle atrophy. So with our low estrogen, we're struggling with muscle atrophy issues. Just naturally, that's what happens. And so now if we take creatine every day, it can it can, again, stop that. It can help us not only build muscle, but stop the muscle wasting. Okay, I covered muscles, brain, and energy. Who knew? I didn't know that one. So creatine's all about having a good, healthy energy level. So again, I'll put some brands and such in your email, but and listen, I'm just going to be honest. I do not take creatine. I need to start. I've gone on and off of it. What I'll do is be your guinea pig. I'll try a couple different brands and give them to you here in a couple months. But the truth is, creatine can cause bloat. It can cause some side effects that are, where you feel like you're sclubby. You know what I'm talking about, where you just feel like you're waterlogged. But in a way, what should happen, you can lower the amounts where you don't get those side effects, but you can also just, your body will adapt, number 2. And number 3, we need to get over it, because the pros far outweigh the cons. And that's where I need to just bite the bullet, get back on that stuff, and just benefit from it in all the ways. It's essential. I even have scientists that I follow that they give it to their children. So there's so much. This might be the most researched, I think, is what they're saying, is creatine has the most. So That will be, again, in your email for more information, because it's one that we don't even, we know about D3. What the heck's creatine, right? So I'll give you the information. Finally, calcium with K2. So for those of you, you should start getting bone density tests shortly. I don't know when we get those. Is it 55? But that calcium is all about bone density health. And you need it. Don't, very often, like I have some clients that are over the age of 70 and they will, and still stinking go-getters, and they get bone density tests and it indicates that it's getting less. The density is decreasing. And so they immediately need to get a good calcium supplement, but you can take it with your doctor's permission preemptively. So it's not a bad idea. So, all right, wrapping up. Any other questions? Sandy says kombucha is my friend. Yes, good fermented gut feeders. All right, last thing I'm going to give you. How to spot a gimmick, sister. So if it's too good to be true, it is. I'm going to put these in some form to get to you. I started collecting the number of ridiculous promises and pictures that show if you do this, tomorrow you'll look like this. It's just crap. So the truth is, if it's too good to be true, it is. Why? Now you listen to me. This is me talking to you. This is my test. If it was all of that, listen to me, it would change the world. Right? The entire science community would blow up with, look, we have found the cure to obesity and sugar cravings and diabetes right? So why is your product not there? And very often they'll say, oh, it's because it just is new. No, it's because there is no one fix. There isn't. So, I get mad. I better be careful. So the truth is, if it is too good to be true, it is. Otherwise, it would be an explosion in the medical, and especially not only the medical, they tend to be more marketplace, but in the science community. A bunch of, brainiac scientists would nab it up, study it, and either prove it or disprove it. And so if your magic pill isn't there, don't take it. And if you want to claim that it's because it's new, still don't take it because it's new and no one has tested it yet. So that's number one. Sassy on my part, sorry. If it says proprietary blend, I see a lot of that. It's hiding what's in there. So if it says vitamin D3, vitamin C, niacin, and a proprietary blend, you have no idea what's in their blend. It could be nothing. It could be a bunch of stuff you don't want. If it's a celebrity endorsement and not a science endorsement, run. If it says things like detox and cleanse, run. Like any sort of fear mongering. The truth is, when I use the word detox and I've stopped, I just meant like, let's stop eating sugar and get rid of the inflammation. But technically that's not a detox. Your liver does the detoxing if it's healthy. So watch out for words that make you feel like you have to do something just in case, let's detox. So that's the other thing. No questions. Additional purchases. Well, if you buy this pill or this shake, you also have to buy this food or this extra thing. It's a marketing gimmick, obviously. If there is a single study or no study, it's crap. In order for it to meet our standards in the science community, it has to have all the things we just discussed where it's clinically tested. That word clinically means that it has met the statistical standard to qualify as a clinical study, and it ain't one. To meet the standard of third-party testing. So watch out if it says that it has, a single, this one study proves. No, one study never proves anything. Or no study at all, run. You don't know what you're putting in your body. If there's no clear ingredient list, watch out. If there's, also, this is another thing. I covered celebrity celebrity endorsement. There's also, if there is one doctor even let's say one influencer, one scientist that says they found something, run. Because again, that doctor, if he or she was worth their salt, wouldn't come to you and try to sell you something. They would take a magical find to the science community and say, help me get this clinically tested properly because I want to help people. I don't want to take their money and fool them, right? So watch out for singular doctors and influencers that have a big fat claim, right? A big, I found this thing. No, if you did, and you had any integrity, you wouldn't come to me, who is like, to us, the people who are desperately trying to get healthy and take advantage of our fear. Makes me really angry. Can you tell? So, okay. So listen, this is a lot of new information. It does not have to be complicated. It shouldn't. If it feels complicated, don't do it. I will send you an email, if not today, before Monday, all about exactly what to look for, what to watch out for, and what you need in the way of supplements. And I'll even put a few, I'm thinking about putting a few, these were primary supplements that we covered today. I'll even put a few secondary supplements in there. There's some that, you don't have to have, but that might help you. So I might give you those too, but I don't ever want to confuse you. And I don't want things to be complicated because they should not be. Listen to me, your focus needs to be on health, sister. That's it. Don't look for magic pills. If you are feeling depleted and bad, go get blood work and see if it's B12, see if it's D3. Find out what's going on with your doctor and avoid, the gimmicks. And the last thing I'll answer, I almost forgot, Brandy. I've had a question or two about beef organ supplements. There's no clinical testing on it. I looked it up. There's I think there might be one, but there's not, let's say it this way, there's not enough clinical testing to prove that eating, organs is any better than going to get an iron supplement from your doctor. So just hold tight on that. Anytime there is a tout that, like to like is what the science community calls it. So if you have liver issues, eat liver. If you have kidney issues, eat kidney. It's just baloney. It's like medieval. Medieval research indicates. So I would hold off on things like that are trendy, again, that have no support whatsoever. So I love y'all. I hope this was helpful. I'm really sorry I can't see any questions. But you know where to find me if you do have questions. If you are not on my email list, that is really not very smart. I don't sell anything in there. It's just free information and recipes and encouragement and things like this, where I'll give you, coaching. So have a great weekend. Enjoy your food. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your time off. Keep it between your rails. I always say that right here. Don't go crazy. Don't starve yourself. Keep it right down the middle and you'll be fine. And if you need anything, reach out and let me know. Love y'all.